The most likely candidate for the Manchester United job is Antonio Conte. He's won the league with Inter Milan, he's won the league with Chelsea, so how would he come into this Manchester United team and set them up to win the league? Now let's make it clear straight away that Conte's aim wouldn't be to win the league this season if he is to come in as manager. Results so far have made that difficult. Who knows, if he comes in and puts in a really good run of form, then they will be a challenger, but I can't see that being a realistic aim. But instead, what Conte would be coming in to do this season would be to implement a style of play to get a defensive structure in this team and attempt to get some kind of form similar to that of a title contending side. And that is the thing with this United squad. It isn't a squad of players that should definitely be winning the league, but it should at least be challenging for the league title. That will be Conte's aim if he comes in as manager. So let's take a look at how he could set up this Manchester United team. The obvious thing, he's going to come in and implement a back three system. We saw this at Manchester United under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in his first season, but since then we haven't really seen a back three from Ole. We've previously seen Antonio Conte use a 3-5-2 and a 3-4-3, and at Manchester United either of those could be used. Straight away, these systems can be seen as defensive. Is definitely built on a strong defensive structure, but his Inter title winning side scored 89 goals, and that was the second most that season, and 85 goals scored with Chelsea when they won the Premier League was again the second most, only by 1 goal. And this United team definitely have the capability to score that many goals in one season with the amount of attacking talent that they have. It's just got to be set up right. So if you're looking at utilising that attacking talent that they have, then the 3-4-3 would probably be your formation. You'd be able to use Rashford on the left and someone else on the right, whether that's Sancho or Greenwood. What we can expect to see is a lot of rotation. There won't be an exact first 11 that we see regularly. So let's take a look at this example of Rashford on the left, Ronaldo in the middle, and Greenwood on the right. Currently, there seems to be some talk about Ronaldo and Greenwood, about them playing in the same team, and Ronaldo getting a little annoyed by Greenwood's selfishness of shooting a lot. I think they're just going to have to get used to this, because Greenwood isn't going to stop that. He knows his shooting ability. He can score a lot of goals by doing this, and Ronaldo takes a lot of shots himself. But the reason as to why this front three could work better is because your creativity now is coming from those wing backs instead of always coming through the front three. So what you can look to do here is sacrifice a little bit of creativity in that front three and get in another goal scorer alongside Ronaldo. Then you've got Ronaldo and Greenwood, two players who are very capable of scoring goals. And who the wing backs could be is very interesting. Could you look at one of the attackers like Jadon Sancho coming in at right wing back? I think if you were to do this, then you probably look at someone like Aaron Wan-Bissaka coming into that wide centre-back role. We've never seen him in this role, but we've always thought it could work. This would be the perfect time to experiment with that. With the extra goal-scoring ability you have in Ronaldo and Greenwood, you want more creativity, so that's why you bring Jadon Sancho into the team. And with Jadon Sancho as a right wing-back, you'd want extra defensive cover behind him, so Aaron Wan-Bissaka on paper would be perfect in a wide centre-back role, but whether he can actually play this role is a different story, and that's what we'd have to see. This right side of the pitch would then offer great balance, where Mason Greenwood is a goal scorer and would come into central areas to almost act as a striker. Jadon Sancho would then shift forward, acting as a winger with creativity and a goal scoring ability. And then what you find is you basically have a back four again, with Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Maguire and Luke Shaw all being like a back four. But of course, in this back three system, Luke Shaw is very attacking and Wan-Bissaka would be more disciplined in his positioning. Alternatively, you could just put Jadon Sancho as a winger and bring in another right wing back, and maybe someone like Diogo Dalot would be more favoured under Antonio Conte. There's definitely concerns for Diogo Dalot when out of possession. His defending isn't great, and that's probably why he hasn't been favoured under Solskjaer. But once again, this back five system makes up for that. This time you have Maguire, Varane and Lindelof to make up for his lack of defending quality. So we looked at the option of a wide centre back on the right, but how about on the left? You could be looking at Shaw as a wide centre back, and that brings Alex Telles into the team. Now probably this as an option is more realistic than the others. I think Antonio Conte would come in and see Alex Telles as probably a player he could get so much more out of. With Alex Telles, I'd probably compare him a lot to Marcos Alonso, where he's very attacking and he's got great goal scoring ability alongside his creativity and crossing ability. He showcased his goal scoring ability at Porto a lot, but more recently at Manchester United he did in the Champions League, so I think we could see that more often with Antonio Conte in charge. charge. And what you also have with this is Luke Shaw as a wide centre-back is also more experienced in that position than Wan-Bissaka would be. Someone like Bruno Fernandes really wouldn't fit into this formation, and that's why I feel Bruno Fernandes, to get him in the team, you'd have to switch to that 3-5-2. Otherwise, I struggle to see how Conte fits him into this formation, as those two central midfielders, you need people who are well-rounded. So it'd mean that Paul Pogba would come into the team, but then who he goes alongside is difficult. One of Fred, McTominay or Matic has got to be used because you need that extra defensive stability in the midfield. Personally, I think Antonio Conte would come in and be a fan of Scott McTominay. Like, I really think he'd like him. I just have a feeling that he'd come in and be the same as Jose Mourinho, who really liked McTominay, and compared to the other two, Fred and Matic, McTominay is definitely the most well-rounded, where he's also got that goal-scoring ability. You know that he's going to work hard for the team, he's faster than Matic, and he doesn't make as many mistakes as Fred, so he's probably the best option here. But let's make it clear, I think Conte will want another defensive midfielder. That is where he'll prioritise his first transfer. Whether that's something they'll do in January, I'm not quite sure. If he really demands that and says a defensive midfielder, that's all I want, then United could be a lot better in the second half of the season with a new player in that midfield. Now let's switch it to the 3-5-2. This is where you can then get Bruno Fernandes in the team as that central midfielder who's going to attack a lot more. With him, you're then adding a lot of creativity in central areas where you don't really have that in the other formation, and you've still got the creativity out wide with your wing backs. And with the striker partnership in this formation, I think Marcus Rashford and Cristiano Ronaldo is a really good partnership. It offers a great balance. Marcus Rashford's playing in a similar role where he's sort of out wide, but he's almost a striker at the same time. But as Ronaldo is going to stay in the central areas the majority of the time, it leaves that right side open, where it means that Bruno Fernandes will probably have to roam into those wide areas. And it also means that your right wing back is going to have to be very attacking to pick the ball up on that right hand side, because you don't really want Ronaldo doing that. You want him to be in the box. So in both of these formations, it means that United have something crucial that they don't have right now, and that is a defensive structure that they can rely on. To make sure that when they're out of possession, they're regrouping, they're making those areas compact where the team can't get through. They've got plenty of players here to do that. And from that, you've got great players to attack with. The passing range of Pogba, the creativity you're going to have in the wing backs, and maybe one of those can be Sancho, like we said. You've also got players like Jesse Lingard, who has looked great when he's come on this season. You've also got Donny van de Beek. Could he play more of a part under Conte? Van de Beek could play a part in the 3-5-2, where he's a midfielder to push up and have that attacking influence. I've always seen him as a midfielder who wants to be very high though and get on that attacking line to be a goal scorer. So in this kind of formation where you've got more players back to defend, you could see a lot more of Van de Beek. Like I said at the start, this squad isn't one that should definitely win the league. However, there is a way to set it up to compete for the title. So in a 3-4-3 or a 3-5-2, let me know your starting 11 for Manchester United under Antonio Conte. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button. It would be massively appreciated as it helps the videos getting found. And for more insight and analysis, subscribe to Route 1.